I'm just going to wait a second for anybody who wants to jump on. This is like a surprise live. So, didn't really give any notice this time, but I was just so inspired. I was like, I have to go live to talk about this. Okay, I have one viewer, so that's good enough for me to go ahead and get started. Okay, so hi everyone. If you don't know me, I'm Ashley Janae. I am a love and dating and relationship coach for women. I typically work with really smart, successful, independent type women who have difficulty in the love department, but don't usually have a lot of difficulty in the other areas of their life. So they're trying to kind of get the love department down. And, you know, they have a history of troubled relationships or being chronically single, things like that. So that's kind of the target audience for who I usually am speaking to or giving advice to here in the group. So I asked a question earlier, and it was in regards to looks and a man's looks. So I asked, how important is a man's looks to you on a scale of 1 to 10? And I got a few responses. A majority of them said that looks were pretty important. Usually about like either, I think it was like an 8 or a 9 and above. And this was a really important question for me to ask, because I want to take this opportunity to educate on the correlation between a woman's requirements for a man and her relationship outcomes. So, quick story time. I was someone who was really caught up on looks in my younger years. So, one thing that I know to be pretty true about women is, you know, we have grown up in the age of watching fairy tales and really looking in the media and seeing like the Prince Charmings, and, you know, we feel good about ourselves when a handsome man wants us. Humans in general tend to always want to date at their level or higher. So you're not just going to say, you know, I want somebody who doesn't look as good as me. You want someone who looks as good as you or looks better. You want someone who makes as much as you or more. That's typically what people, you know, go for. They aim, you know, who they think is in their league, basically. Sorry, I have like a eyelash that's bugging me. But so in regards to qualities that I encourage women to focus on, looks is one that can get you caught up. So getting back to my story, in me being really caught up in looks, I dated men who I found, you know, to be really attractive, really cute. And, you know, it made me feel good that somebody who looked good wanted me. And, you know, that when I looked at him, I was super attracted and he gave me the butterflies. And, you know, I had men who I didn't find as attractive who were interested in me. And some of them, you know, if they were borderline, I gave them a chance. But the ones who, you know, I didn't feel that jolt of excitement about, I typically didn't. Or if I did, to be honest, I didn't give them a fair shot. It was kind of like giving them a pity opportunity. Like, oh, I'll talk to you, but my conversation's dry. I'm not really putting effort into it. I'm not feeling it. So what I have learned and what has actually shown to be true, based on studies and research that has been conducted amongst communities of women and discussions that happen amongst coaches who work with women like myself, is that women who place a lot of emphasis on these physical attributes and needing the man to be cute and attractive, they tend to put too much attention on those qualities and not enough on the qualities that actually lead to a meaningful relationship. Okay. Another story. I actually was working with a coach to manifest love a few years ago. And I remember her telling me that she saw me with a certain kind of guy, and she sent me a picture, and the guy was not someone that I thought was cute. And I cried. I cried because I did not want to be with an ugly man. And I think for some women, just the thought of that, kind of triggers them. It's like, ooh, I'm going to be, laying up and letting this man touch me, and he's ugly and he's not a joy to look at, and, blah, 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 whatever story that we may have around that. What's problematic is what you're looking for is actually really shallow. And it's rare. I'm going to be honest with you. It's really rare. Hold on just 1 second. Sorry, I just have to fix this thing with the computer here. Okay. All right, I think I'm good. Okay. So, sorry, back to my story. So, looking for a man to look good is actually really shallow qualities. Okay? I'm not saying that looks should not matter at all. We all want to be attracted, but what I encounter is a lot of women, especially women who've been chronically single or who have a history of dating players, womanizers, men who are emotionally unavailable, men who basically are not relationship material. They're dating cute men, but that is the majority of what the man has to bring to the table. He looks good. And at the end of the day, that never goes the distance. That never brings you from casual to committed. That never brings you from single to married or in a committed life partnership, whatever it is that you desire. And the bad thing is that when we are caught up on looks, if a man is attractive, if he looks good, you will give him a lot of passes on things because looks wise, you see him as higher status than yourself. You see him as desirable. Think of it like if you were to meet a celebrity. You're not going to treat a celebrity how you would treat an everyday guy because it's like, oh, I can't believe you like me. I can't believe you want me. It's an ego boost that somebody super attractive is into you. So you will let things slide because you feel lucky to have them. And when women date men who are super attractive, number one, you're not the only one that finds him super attractive. So that means that there are other women in his atmosphere who think he's cute. He's probably been used to being treated a certain way because he's attractive. And I find that that puts men a lot of times more in the feminine position in the relationship because he's used to being pursued. He's used to women making a big fuss over him. Like, oh, he's tall, dark, and handsome. He has that curly hair. He has green eyes. He has this and that. We all like that and think that's cute. But I'll give you an example. Someone like Jason Momoa. Okay, so a lot of women talk about how good he looks and how he's, so dreamy and swoon worthy. But do you think that he doesn't get that kind of attention regularly to the point where he knows he looks good? And when you know you look good, you have a certain standard. You can have an elevated view of yourself to the point where you feel like you have options, you increase your requirements. So as an attractive man, you're like, well, I only want to date attractive women. I don't pay mind to women who are overweight. I don't pay mind to women who don't have long hair. I don't pay mind to women who don't wear, a size 2 or don't dress the way I like, or they're not tan, or whatever their standards might be. They have a thing. They have a look. And they have the option to have multiple different kinds of women coming at them because they're desirable. They're in demand. So when you're in demand, you get to dictate how things go. You get to dictate who you commit to. You're not in a position of need. You have a surplus. Okay, the market is in your favor when you're in demand. And then if you couple good looks with a man who has money, even worse. because there's even more women who are going to be interested in him. So these type of men are, just by nature of the fact that they are afforded so many options and they're so desirable, do you think they're going to be as likely to want to settle down with just one woman when they could have multiple? When women are probably throwing themselves at him on a regular basis, when there are women who are flirting, when there are women who just want a chance, when there are women who see he's with another woman but don't mind shooting their shot. Like, these are the kinds of things that you will probably deal with a man who looks good. And that's just, par for the course. Men understand this. When they date a woman who looks good, she's like, a trophy on their arm, and they feel good about who they're with, but they also know they have to be on alert because men are going to be after that woman. Men are going to try her when she's alone. Men are going to try her behind his back. Some men may even get brave and try to get with her or get her attention when he's there. So he's going to have to, mark his territory and really be on guard and be protective. And, that's just a reality of dating somebody super attractive. So I get the desire and where it comes from when you want to be with a man who looks good, who makes you swoon and all of that. But really, there are so many other qualities that make a good husband that I want women to place higher on the priority list. And really, does he have to be fine in order to be your husband? Does he have to be a 10 or a 9 or an 8 in order for you to consider him? Because, we have to be honest. First of all, men who look good, they want women who look good. So he has to think you look good for him to not feel like he's settling. So you have to ask yourself, are you in the league of a man who's an 8 or a 9 or a 10? And that's not to beat you down or tell you, that you're not good enough or anything like that, but we're just being honest. You don't usually see men with a woman who does not look as good as him or better. And if you do, you usually hear people snickering or making comments. I'll give you a couple of examples. Pierce Brosnan, he's been married to his wife for many years. When he got with her, she was slender. Now she's more full-figured. But you still hear people in the media making comments about her weight, making comments about he's James Bond, he could get with so many other women, but he's with her. So it stands out. They're judging her just based on her physical attributes. Obviously, he loves her. He's the mother of, their children. They've been married for many years. He loves her at any size, is what he says. But I think it would be different unless he had a thing for full-figured women, which some men do. They prefer women who are, more full-figured or curvy or whatever. If that's not his preference and he was just meeting her today, that might not happen. He is able to be pickier and get more of what he wants. So if that's not the look he likes, that's not usually who he's going to go for. Another example is Jesse Williams. Jesse Williams is with somebody else now, other than his ex-wife. But when he was with his ex-wife, people used to comment on the fact that she was more plain Jane. I want to say she's like a teacher or something like that. He used to actually be a teacher before he was an actor. And of course, he's like, swoon worthy on Grey's Anatomy and, good looking and all that stuff. But people commented when they saw who he was with, because they're thinking in their mind, you could get a model. You could get somebody young and hot to trot, and who you're with doesn't match you. So that's something to keep in mind. Can you keep up with a man who is hot and in demand? And men will give attention to women that they don't see a future with. So don't think that because a man who looks good gave you the time of day, that he sees you as wife material and that he would actually move forward and pursue it. You have to actually see evidence of that. And him saying he's attracted to you, him wanting to take you out a couple times, him sleeping with you, being texting buddies, none of that is an indication that he actually sees you as like wife material or that he wants to be serious with you. Men if they I mean, I won't even say they have to be remotely attracted to you. Most men, want to sleep with women that they're attracted to, but there are men who will sleep with women they're not attracted to because the opportunity is there. Because for them, getting sex is that important, and they enjoy the variety, or it fulfills a need for them that they don't even have to be attracted to the woman. That's how you have men who are out here on the corner sleeping with prostitutes who, are like on drugs and dirty, or just, they don't compare to like the type of woman that they would marry or bring home to their family or take to the company Christmas party. There are women that men sleep with that they don't tell anybody that they sleep with. They keep it on the low low. Because if anybody knew, they would be embarrassed. But they do it because it's there. Because she's more than happy to hand it over. Why? Because she sees him as higher status than she is. And she feels lucky that he's interested. She feels lucky to have his gaze, to have his attention, to have him pursuing her. So she goes ahead and hands it over. And it's an ego boost to her that he's interested. But you have to think about, what is he interested in? Is he interested in you for the serious, for the long term, or is he interested in what you have to offer for the moment? And him, partaking of what you have to give, but not really planning on giving you much more than his time and attention for that moment. Also, women, we are the ones who are the pretty ones in the relationship. Okay? I've talked in the group about men wanting to appreciate and admire a woman's beauty. We all love attractive people. It's just a natural thing. Men especially, love to see a beautiful woman. And what's beautiful to everybody can vary. We all like different little features, or have certain things that do it for us, or that we just really like to see in a person. And then there are those generalized beauty standards as well, but and that's also cultural, because what we believe is beautiful here in the West is not necessarily what other countries and other societies think is beautiful or attractive. So based on Western culture, based on the media and what we see broadcast as attractive, or what we should be striving to look like, or what is portrayed as the ideal, men like beautiful women. They like to admire your look. They like to admire your body. They're visual. We all already know this. So with that being said, you have to consider, okay, if men really admire and want beautiful women, and that's like a masculine quality. The masculine is really into pursuing and admiring and wanting to behold beauty. And women are the same way. They're looking for men to be beautiful and cute and grab their attention with their looks. That's actually coming from like a masculinized place. Because the feminine, what you want to be pursuing is safety. Safety, security. We talk about masculine qualities, including a man being a provider, a protector, a man basically making sure that you are secure, okay, and loving you, being devoted to you, and your family. Those things should be at the top of your list. I think as we have gotten more westernized in terms of what we want as women, and the fact that we have the freedom to date who we want, date how we want, we're sexually liberated and all of that, we started looking for cute men, as if cute men are the ideal, as if cute means that's who I should strive to be with, that's who's going to be the best mate for me. And it's not. Him being cute has nothing to do with the kind of partner he's going to be. And it's not to say that cute men are not good partners, but so many women get to cute and they stop. They stop vetting, they stop asking questions, they stop assessing, is this man right for me? They are completely driven by what makes them attracted to him, which is his look, which is his swag, which is, the way he moves and how it turns them on. And all of that's fine and dandy, but again, you can't create the foundation of a strong, healthy relationship on that. It has nothing to do with his looks. It has everything to do with who he is as a man. And I don't want you to make that secondary. I don't want you to first evaluate, is a man good looking enough to you, and then look at the rest. It's a recipe for disaster, just to be honest with you. It is. Because again, you give cute men extra passes on things. So that means you overlook red flags. That means you let things slide. That means you're more likely to know something is not compatible with how you want to live or what you want, but because he's cute, you'll allow it. You figure, well, maybe we can work on it. Maybe he'll change. Maybe I'll get over it. Maybe I won't let this bother me. That gets old. Okay? Second, a man who knows he looks good is going to have options. So are you prepared to deal with the life of being a woman with a man who knows he looks good, who has all this attention from women, who's used to getting that attention, who may not want to give up getting that attention even if he gets married? There are men who still want to know they got it. They still want to be pursued. They still want to flirt and talk and keep in touch. And, they enjoy that feminine energy, and they're used to being pursued by women. So those are the men who they see themselves as the prize in the relationship. So they're not going to pursue you. They expect you to call them. They expect you to throw yourself at them because that's what they're used to. They're used to women fawning over them, falling all over themselves, trying to get to them, making it easy for him. So he's not as likely to be motivated to pursue, to provide, to impress you, because guess what? In his life, what has impressed most women is his looks. So he hasn't really had to develop his character beyond that, because his looks have opened so many doors with women that was all he needed. He just needed to stay cute. So he stays in the mirror, he keeps a fresh haircut, makes sure he smells good, he got that little stubble or whatever it is that you like. He stays in the gym. He's working on developing his outer exterior. He wants that to always be right, but how's his heart? How is he on the inside? How's his mental? Is he working on that? Is he a good person? Does he have a good heart? And you find where people devote a lot of their time and energy is where their treasure is stored up at. So, let's just be honest. A lot of men, of course, their values are in, what they do and can they provide. So that, translates to money and status and things like that. But for men who know they look good, they want to keep that. They are spending a lot of time on looking good and attracting women and knowing that they still got it, that they can still pull whoever they want. And is that the kind of stuff you want to be dealing with your husband? Do you want him to have that as a priority, or do you want him to have being a good man, keeping you all safe, honoring you, protecting you, fulfilling his life purpose, serving the Creator if you all are a faith-based family, being a good father? Like, there's so many other things that should occupy a man's mind that have nothing to do with him being cute and still having it and attracting women. Now, that's not to say he shouldn't value his looks, but what I'm going to tell you next is that as wives, as girlfriends, as women in a man's life, we often provide that beauty to him that elevates him and steps him up to the next level. So if you were to meet a man and he's not ugly, he's not like horrible, like, oh my God, I could never consider him, but say he's just okay. He's not anything that, he's so fine it's keeping you up at night, but he's decent, he's okay. You meet a man like that, with you being in his life, there may be little cosmetic things you notice, like, oh, his teeth, he could stand, to get some braces, or, some teeth whitening, or I don't really like the way he dresses, or the way his hair is cut is not really flattering, or whatever. The things that we can count men out for, his skin isn't clear, whatever. those are things that women will exclude men for, that are not that important, because it's just like if you've ever shopped for a home, you want to look at the foundation of the home. Cosmetic things can be changed. You don't decide to not buy a house because you don't like the color of the paint on the walls, or because, oh, I don't like this carpet, or, you know, I don't like these countertops. All of that can be changed. All of that can be upgraded, but you cannot change the man's heart. You cannot change where he comes from. You cannot change his mental health. You cannot change his character or the type of person he is. That exterior stuff can be fixed. You come into his life and you bring the beauty. You take the house, you make it a home. You take him and you're like, you know what, babe? Can I style you? Do you mind if I add this feminine touch to your life? Do you mind if I help you pick out a new wardrobe? You get him some suits, you get him some nice clothes, some polos, or, you know, whatever it is that you would like to see him in. You buy him cologne. You tell him, you know what, I love when you cut your hair low like that. You look so good. Like, ooh, I just want to jump on you. Like, when you do things like that, you upgrade a man in those ways that curate him to what you like, and it elevates him. But he's not haughty. He's not so caught up in looks that he's going to spend more time in the mirror than you. He's still more focused on other things, but he's allowing you to style him. He's allowing you to put your sprinkle on his life, on the way he dresses, on the way he looks, to make him look better. And he appreciates it, but he's still humble. Okay, so I want to invite y'all to consider that. Would you consider a man who doesn't give you a swarm of butterflies in your stomach because he's so fine? And maybe consider going for a man who doesn't do that for you. He's decent enough for you to say, you know what, I could give him a chance. And treat him right. Treat him the way you would treat the super fine guy. I mean, not in terms of letting stuff slide that shouldn't slide, but treat him with kindness. Treat him with respect. Okay, don't treat him as disposable, or like, you know, you're better than him, or you don't have the time of day for him. Treat him well, okay? And see what kind of man he is. Because a lot of the men who are mellow, who are loving, who are devoted, who are going to be there for you and are willing to lay down their life for you and are like family men, marriage-minded men, those men are not the pretty Rickies. They are not the supermodels. They are not the bad boys, the ones with the scruff who, you know, just looking at him just sends women into a tizzy. Those type of men are not typically your marriage-minded, relationship-oriented, I want to commit to just one woman and be faithful type of men. It's like you're looking for two things that clash. Two things, like a house on wheels. Like, just things that don't go together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want a man who has the values of someone who's humble and quiet and low-key, but you want it wrapped up in a package of a man who is hot to trot, in demand, enjoys attention, gets attention. Like, it's rare. And that's why I think a lot of women have difficulty finding that, and finding it in terms of you get a serious relationship and you can keep it. Men who look good, who know they look good, come with a whole set of problems. I'm just going to be honest. It comes with a whole set of problems. Now, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to pursue that and make that a priority, but just be prepared to deal with what it comes with. Just like I have BMW. When you have luxury cars, the maintenance costs more. So it's not just paying the sticker price for the car. Your oil changes, your tires, anything that goes wrong with the car, it all costs more. So it costs a lot to get and to maintain. And you have to use the high quality gas in it as well. So same thing, if you want to get a man with a lot of money, you want to get a man who has a lot of, you know, women who are after him because he's attractive. He comes with a whole set of issues that are unique to getting a man like that, a high status man, a man who's, you know, attractive and in demand. Is that what you really want to deal with? Okay, I was just checking the comments. For a lot of women, no. They don't want to deal with that. You want somebody who's fine like Brad Pitt, but who's low key. And that's not super common. It's just not. It's not super common. And usually when you do find those men and they're ready to settle down, it's later in life. It's after they've done their philandering, they're sowing their wild oats, they're being with multiple people and enjoying the attention of women and not having to be committed to anybody and just kind of doing them. They may decide later in life that they want to settle down and be a family man and be a one-woman man. But, you know, that's not common when they're younger. So I hope this kind of sheds some light on the trap that is that he has to be good-looking requirement. Again, I want to emphasize, I'm not telling you that you should have no standards when it comes to attraction. But what I'm saying is a lot of women who place it super high on their must-have list, that tends to take up focus from things that are truly important that will lead to a lasting, stable, healthy relationship. That should not be the top thing that you're focused on when it comes to a man. It shouldn't even be in the top 3. Because, you know, a cute man, a man who's fine, does not equal a happy relationship. That's like how you choose a sexual partner. And your husband, whoever you get with, is going to be your sexual partner, but they're going to be a lot more than that. And if you put too much attention and emphasis on those superficial qualities, you're likely to cut yourself short and not spend enough time evaluating and choosing when it comes to the qualities that are really important to having a lasting relationship. So give those guys who, like I said, don't give you butterflies, but they're decent. Give those guys a chance. Like there are so many men who are, you know, overlooked or told that they're too nice, or because they're not supermodel fine, you know, women overlook them or don't take them seriously, or they always end up kind of being the friend or off to the side. And those men have something to offer. Those men, like I said, are marriage minded. They want to settle down. They want to have that home and family life. They want to be with the beautiful woman and treat her right, but they also are not looking for like a supermodel. They just want somebody that they find beautiful. They're fine with an everyday woman. They're fine with a woman that is a size 10. They're fine with a woman who, you know, is older. They're fine with a woman who has kids or, you know, has wrinkles or, you know, whatever the case may be. Their standards are not quite as high either because they're not superficial. If they were more superficial, they would be pouring a lot of energy into their looks, and conversely, they would expect a lot out of your looks as well. And I know a lot of women do not want to receive any pressure from a man when it comes to their looks. We don't want to be told you need to be putting on makeup, you need to be dressing cuter, you need to lose the weight, you need to do your hair this way or that. You know, we don't want to feel that. We want to be accepted how we are, even if how we are is not really our best. We tend to think that a man should just take us as we are. But those super fine men, it's not common that they're going to want to do that. They're going to want the cream of the crop, the best that they can get. And, you know, it's work to get them. It's work to keep them. And is that really what you want? If it is, just be informed, make an informed decision, go into it full well knowing what you're going to be dealing with, knowing all that comes with it, and say, you know what, this is what I'm signing up for. But, you know, your everyday guys, there really are some good men with good hearts out there who were raised well, who have values that match yours, that have strong character, that are the kind of men that you can build a life with. And what makes them great is not their looks. And the details you can fine tune. You can fine tune the clothing, you can fine tune the cosmetic stuff. You know, a lot of that can be worked with. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just like buying a house. Don't get so caught up in the details that you overlook. Can I work with this? Do I like the foundation? Do I like the layout of the room? Do I like the location, the school district? Is this enough rooms and bathrooms for me? Do I overall like the house, but there's just a few things I would change? You can work with that. And you should. don't keep searching for the bigger, better deal. If a man is showing up and he's a good man and he's trying to claim you, don't forego that opportunity thinking, oh, I can get somebody finer, I can get somebody better, I can get somebody taller, I can get somebody whatever else. Women who do that find themselves single, and those opportunities of having a man who actually really wants to go the distance with you and commit to you come few and far between the older you get. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, feel free to DM me or comment here on the video, and I'll be happy to answer them. Let me know your thoughts. If you're someone who looks are super important to you, why is that? And let me know about what you think about what I shared. And a couple quick notes before I go. So this month's masterclass is clarity. Should you stay or go? And it's basically for women who are in situationships or in complicated relationships and they need to make a decision. Is this relationship worth fighting for? Can I save it? If so, how do I save it? Or should I just walk away? And if I need to walk away, how can I do so and take care of myself and kind of minimize the damage and pain to my heart and my life while I'm doing that? So this class is going to offer support around that. It's probably going to be similar in length to VET, so it'll be probably around an hour or so. My plan is to record it live, but what tends to happen is I tend to have people who want to purchase the class after it's already been recorded. So if I don't have enough attendees to attend live, I will record it, not live, but I'll record the class and then I'll send out the recording and the slides to everybody. And then you can just, view it at your leisure as opposed to attending live. And then what I do is I extend the opportunity to ask me questions after you've watched the recording. And then you let me know what you want to know or what's not clear or what you want me to expand on. And then I'll do a follow-up video on that and then send that out to you for free. Okay, so if anyone has any questions about that, feel free to DM me. Also, if you're interested in VET Like a Goddess, that is still available. Send me a message about that. I will also offer you a bundle if you're interested in purchasing both. VET is ready, so I can send that out to you ASAP. That was recorded last month, and I will be recording Clarity on June 26th. So yeah, if you have any questions, message me. I also have the group mastermind that I'm going to be talking more about in the near future. It's so good. Like all the resources I have in there, you will be getting so much for your membership fee. It's like, it is power packed. We cover everything from your health and fitness to lifestyle to manifestation to spirituality to love and dating, beauty, personal development. We cover everything. It is like so intense. It's basically like a boot camp for your empowered woman, and with a special emphasis and focus on dating and love life, because that's my specialty, that's my zhuzh. But I realize that women, we're holistic beings, so we have other aspects that tie into our dating and love life, like our physical appearance and our health and our weight and our mood and our mental health and our lifestyle and things like that. So I think it is beneficial to focus on not just the love and dating piece, but all the other things that impact it as well. So I'll be talking more about that soon. And what else? I still do my one-on-one sessions. I still do my messenger support. In fact, I think I'll post again the different services I offer, because we have some new ladies in the group, or you just may need a refresher. Feel free to reach out and just tell me what you need support in. I'll let you know what I have and what I offer. I'm quite sure there will be something that will meet your needs, because I offer various things at different price points. So, if you're entry level, or you just kind of want to dip your toe in and see what coaching's like, or see what kind of support I can give you, I have your lower level, offers all the way up to, your one-on-one coaching, where you'll work with me for several weeks and have, my one-on-one devoted attention and that access to me outside of our sessions as well. So yeah, that's it. I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe. If you have any questions, as always, post them in the group. Please do invite your friends as well. I love when we get more new members. 'Cause I just love to expand the community. So thank you to everyone who's been inviting their friends. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm completely here for you. If you need anything from me, just let me know. And I will talk to y'all soon. Take care. Bye for now.